What? Sorry?
What we're going for it, Mike.
Yeah.
I had a...
Right, camera rolling.
Camera's rolling.
Sound alright?
I'll play these now, yeah?
No, not the... You don't want to play the right one, do you?
Yeah, you
No,
want,
just
do you want
have
both
one-
played?
No, can I just have the left one played?
Do you want to just give that another frame so that doesn't switch off?
Wait.
You know, do you want to just knock it forward a bit so it doesn't switch off? So we'll start like that.
Okay. Can you play left hand? Okay, rolling. Action.
Okay, so Mike, can you tell us why you joined the IAC and what sort of things you do?
I first joined the IAC because I wanted copyright reasons, and I've got an interest in animation and film. I wanted to further that interest. And the IAC offered things like copyright licenses, very friendly. Yeah.
Lucy, there's a lot of headroom.
There is a lot of headroom, yes.
Yeah, that's much better.
Can you tilt the mic the other side?
A lot of that noise, isn't there?
There's a lot of noise coming from the machines though, so...
No, it's these
It's
dots.
these things. Have a listen, Ash.
Yeah. You can turn it off there.
But either way you...
Stop.
No, don't worry, it's all right.
Doesn't actually.
But either way you tip the mic, you're going to have a bit of noise somewhere, so... I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay, can you rewind that left hand thing?
Got to start.
Can you like lock off the tripod?
Are you focused, Simon? Not being funny,
What?
but... Are you focused on?
What, you were?
Just at the back focus.
Have you got... No.
Yeah, we're focused on you. Maybe it's just the back focus.
You're not supposed to touch.
I'll put that down there so I can get a problem.
Just creep down.
Can
Is that
you have
another
a bit
chart
less
to you?
headroom?
Yeah, just going to sort this map out. Doesn't move.
It's alright, leave it, it looks fine.
Yeah. This one from where I am, but... I've got time for that.
Right, okay.
Right,
Okay, so Mike.
camera ready, sound, action.
I'm not happy, stop. Mike, look at me again, please.
Sorry, mate.
Do you want to stop the tape or just sort of this
Yeah,
out?
do you want to
It's
stop
wasting
press the
enough
button
of
on
the
it?
tape.
Right, okay, I feel happy this way.
Right,
Right,
Sorry about that.
don't have to.
So you start from shot.
go.
Okay, so Mike, can you tell us why you joined the IAC and what sort of things you do?
I first joined the IAC because I wanted to learn more about film and...
Nice.
Simon, get it together, please.
Your outline seems a bit odd.
I'll tell you that the lighting is very... on this wall here, it's a bit...
It's just different.
Yeah.
Can you move the light down a bit?
Do you want this? I think it's better if you had that one playing rather than this one because it...
Which one,
I
Simon?
think
Mike.
it'd be a lot better sitting over here with where you are.
Right, sorry.
Where do you want me facing this side or that side like that?
That's
Looking at me now.
Right, that's much better.
Oh, that looks a hell of a lot better.
Didn't look right.
Yeah, it didn't, did it?
Do you want me to refer to this as well in place of this? Refer to it.
Yeah,
so
you can
that
do,
this is-
yeah. Well, we're rolling.
We are rolling.
Just remember, we've only got 20 minutes of tape for us.
Right, would you like to read
Well,
the
we've got 10 minutes to do this interview, we should be out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get a move on then.
Right, camera's rolling.
Action!
Okay, so Mike, can you tell us why you joined the IAC and what sort of...
Sorry.
Oh my!
Ready?
It's partly my fault as well.
Ready?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I have to wait. So.
Do you want to rewind the tape, Mike?
No, I like it. It starts better there, doesn't it?
Okay.
That there.
Mike.
Oh. Stop laughing. He laughed at me.
Actually, behave.
He said start laughing.
Okay, why did you join the IAC?
Oh.
Come on, Mike. Why did you join the IAC? What sort of animations and films do you make?
I first joined the IAC in February earlier this year because I wanted to learn about film and further my interest in animation. I also wanted to enter a piece of animation I did, which is called Mesh, which I'll play in a bit, which I wanted to enter into festivals all around the country, and the IAC seemed a good first step, you know, to get there and I entered it in April, and it actually won a bronze seal, which was great, and that set the ball rolling for other things, such as I entered it into a student film festival at the Corner House. It did quite well. Also, the people are very friendly at the IAC. If you phone up, they're always warm, give you help if you want any advice. Tim Jones, the youth officer at the IAC, was very helpful. He also was good interest in animation. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and he was telling me how to use 16mm, the best way to go about it. It's sort of advice you need really for young people who's joining the IAC.
Yeah, very big first one.
Hang on, young artist band. Yeah, I'll talk about the festival a bit more if that's all right.
I'll just ask the questions now.
Okay, well, yeah, brief.
Hang on, what's the next finished presentation?
Is that right, Liz?
Heard about it for a friend, reasons joining.
Yeah, I'll ask them if you want.
Yeah, you asked the questions.
Okay, so you went to Movie 94 at Kew University this year. What sort of things happened there?
The actual festival was quite impressive. I got the impression a lot of it was actually older people, and the old sort of films were people on train journeys, you know, oh, this is me in Spain, getting on the train, now the train is leaving the station, that sort of thing, where the young filmmakers were. It was much, I shouldn't really knock it, but it was much better than the older stuff. It was issues on drugs, had lots of energy, it had things, friends breaking up, there were dramas, comedies. It just touched all issues, and the animation, there was some good animation there as well, which I saw.
What are you doing at college at the moment? Because I know you like animation in particular, don't you?
Yeah, unfortunately I'm doing, oh, I got to start, I said unfortunately. Go on, ask that question again. No, stay on there because I'm doing it again.
Yeah. So what sort of things are you doing at college, and what animations have you done here?
At the moment I'm studying media production, H&D, at University College Salford, and all the animation that I do is just off my own back really. They do actually use the college equipment. I use this actual edit suite. We did our last piece called Missing Badge in this very room over here. This is mesh, something that I did. I also did this in this room in 1992. This was. Sorry, I thought it was in shot.
We can cut in the shot of the actual thing there.
Sorry about that.
And then we can, if you go from that shot there and turn and start it, do you want to widen out so we can see that?
Sorry about that.
Do you want to take it back to this film result?
If you want, yeah.
Well, can Mike kind of suggest it, and then we cut to a straight on shot of that?
Well, why don't we just cut to an actual bit of the film rather than a shot of the
Well,
film
do you want
on it?
But you can blend the two, you can mix the two together.
Yeah, wind it to mesh, because that's the last title, isn't it? Then
Oh.
the film starts.
Yeah.
You could do that, and then we could have a bit of the film, and you could start talking, and we could come back to it. Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, if you pan across,
Do
Mike
I
gets...
practice that as I go like this?
You want to go wide.
No, stay close because otherwise we won't get the detail.
Yeah. Make certain you get the title mesh though, make certain you start so you have to set your focus for that one. More than mine.
Is that, am I saying what you want though? Do you want me to go over anything again and say what you want? Because I don't mind saying anything.
Full focus, have you got your 2 settings?
Shall I just go and shut that door because...
You
We
can't.
can't hang next to the to do all of this with the camera rolling?
Yeah, turn.
You can do it.
You
I can't.
press pause.
You've got a button.
No, it doesn't work.
Doesn't it work?
No, it has to be done on the camera.
Right.
Across to his.
Camera's rolling.
Okay, so yeah, tell us about mesh then, Mike.
Well, mesh, I made that when I was 19, 2 years ago. In this...
Can we start that again?
Yeah.
You just start saying, I made mesh 2 years ago.
Yeah. I made mesh 2 years ago. So I dragged my foot on the floor, I won't do that because it knocks me down. I made mesh 2 years ago, and it's made out of entirely models I made myself, which is electrical parts and plasticine. We filmed it using this college equipment in this room. I entered it into the IAC, which is a good basis for it to enter things like this.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You went a bit too far.
I don't know, I wasn't trying to do the really sharp list at the same time.
Yeah, so
Do you want to try that again?
The central, if you can.
Do you want to do a zoom into it as well, or just leave it?
Oh, come on, boys.
Right, do you want to do that again then, please?
Yep.
Yeah, go again. Just keep
I'll just go. I'll just
Very-
just give us a nod and I'll just
Just
talk.
very
through.
briefly about mesh. Right,
Okay.
so I mentioned years ago.
Right, James on.
Mesh was a project I started 2 years ago. It took about a week to make. I did it in this very room, this equipment. Here it is.
Yeah, just go into it. Because once that title's faded out anyway, we could actually cut to this. But if you do a bit of this, then we can come back to Mike again maybe, if you want to do it.
Right, let's do it again.
No, that's all right.
No, I'll do it again if you want.
That was fine, actually.
All right, okay. Fine. Right.
But leave that rolling now, and then we can
Okay.
talk a bit more about.
Do you want this one running as well?
Yeah. Don't want to see that title again, do we? Okay, so
Right, next shot. Sorted.
So what do you like about? Are you rolling? Are you ready?
Yes.
So what do you like about animation compared to live action films?
I like animation because it's more creative and you can do more with it really. However, having said that, I've got a big interest in film as well. Maybe not so much video and television, but film and animation I have a good interest in. And it's good for organisations like the IAC because they can get the ball rolling for you. I mean, I entered this into that, and that gave me a bit of confidence. And then I had it shown at the Corner House, and then I've done another piece now called Missing Madge, again on video, which I hope to enter later into another festival in Blackpool this year.
Right. Is it tricky to do it on video? Because animation normally is done on film, isn't it?
Animation, really, you shouldn't really do it on video. It's a nasty format. You get we're mad to do it really. You get kinks, you get glitches. It's not a nice format. Also, it takes a very long time. In a video setup, what you do is you have a camera which has gone straight into the back of a mixer onto the video, where with film you have your actual film and you click it.
Actually, just basically summarise. Just say that.
I'll just say it's easy. All right.
You've done it because of the cost
Ashley,
reasons.
can I ask you a favour? Just don't interrupt him. Let him talk, and we can always edit it out.
Well,
Bits that we
the
don't
thing is,
want.
we're running out.
I'll keep it very short for you.
All right.
Do you want me to give me a sentence to start off on, and I'll keep it
This is
short.
for people who are interested in sort of starting. So for somebody like like yourself who wants to do this sort of thing, what would you say to them about doing this on video compared to film?
I wouldn't really advise anyone to do animation on video, but we had to because it's all we had. But basically, if you have an interest in it, make some models, have a go at it. It's very easy. Video is a good way to learn on it because it's so simple. But again, it's not a very nice format to do it on. I'd invest in a small Super 8 camera with some lights and try it on that.
Okay. So what will be your next production, and what do you want to do in the future?
Well, I've just recently made a short piece of animation, again on video, called Missing Madge, with a H&D 2 student. That's like a joint venture. But in the future, I'd like to use more film rather than video, maybe 16mm.
And live action?
Yeah, lip sync live action, yeah.
Okay. What about this film you want to make? You want to do a little drama, do you?
Yeah, I'd like to film. The film in the future I'd like to make is a small drama based in my hometown.
Okay. Finally, what advice would you give to young filmmakers out there maybe watching this?
The advice I'd give to young filmmakers who are sort of watching this is basically you can if you want to do it, just do it. Try and push for those times. Try and get equipment, borrow, beg, steal. People are always enthusiastic trying to get your films shown. It's good.
And what about organisations?
Yeah, I'd join an organisation like the IAC because they give you good advice. They're very friendly. They'll show your films for you. They're good.
Yeah, can you say about clubs as well?
What?
IAC and other clubs in the region.
Do you want me to leave this playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave it back.
So what advice would you give to other people?
The advice I give to young people is find your local club, your local IAC club, and join it. Go along, see who's there. Try and get some equipment, maybe borrow, beg, steal, make something. You know, just do it. People are always enthusiastic and willing to show your work, so it's a good thing to do.
Excellent, I like that.
Yeah, but you're talking too quickly after it. If you're careful, you won't be able to edit after it. If you're talking too quickly after that, so you have to be careful because you won't be able to edit it. You know when you said I like.
Okay.
Right, how and why did you become an animator?
Well, I was interested in movies at a young age, and when we moved house, we moved to next door to a chap who had 9.5 gear, and he never used it, so I used to borrow it all the time and play with that, and that got me interested.
So that's what you started with then? You started very much in film?
Yes. There was no video then. I mean, we're talking about the late 50s.
Right, can we just do that one again, please? Sorry. So you
Hold
started...
on, Ashley. Just hang on a minute. Peter, can you move behind George?
Hang on.
You're looking quite despondent over there.
Well, I mean, do you need me in the shot at all at this stage?
I don't know, Ashley, do we need Peter in the shot?
Well, It's up to you, really. Yeah.
It looks a bit lost, that's all.
Yeah, you're going to have GVs of editing later on, aren't you? The two of them editing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. If you just
Why don't you ask questions to both? It's a bit pointless in being in shot, really.
Well, that's what I was hoping to do, but it's a matter of whether they can get the both of them okay. That's the thing. That's why I said about him picking up on some of the answers as well.
or why not direct the questions to both?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Yeah.
Come sit on that one.
Okay, we'll start again. Yeah, if you can explain that 995 is film.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
the sort of people that I...
Right, is everyone ready? Okay, go for it.
Okay, so Roy, how did you become an amateur filmmaker?
Well, was interested in the movies, and when we moved house, we moved next door to a bloke who had cine equipment, 9.5 projector and a 9.5 cine camera, and he didn't use it, so I borrowed it all the time and began that way.
How did you...
I came in with Standard 8 cine film. I'd been interested in still photography when I was a teenager, and then advanced on to buy my first simple little Keystone Standard 8 camera, and worked at Standard 8 for many years, then moved on to Super 8 when that came in.
So, what do either of you use now?
Well, I use video.
And I'm still with Super 8.
Right. Well, can you just sort of go on to a bit sort of what sort of video machines you use and that sort of thing, basically. So if I ask that again.
Can you direct it to the camera, because we're not actually going to have Ashley in it asking the questions, so
Yeah.
explain, kind of like put the answer with the question in it.
Yeah. So that, and as I say, just sort of go on a bit more about the types of machine that you use, and with the Super 8 as well. Perhaps just trying to explain to people that it's like the original film, that they're using the cinema in that sort of way. Okay, so how did you? What sort of equipment do you use?
Well, I now use High 8. I started with VHS, and as the cameras became better, I moved on to High 8, and originally edited direct from the camera onto a recorder using a stopwatch to time the length of the scenes. As time went by and I got more money, I got more equipment. Edit using a computer.
And I'm still using Super 8 film as opposed to video. I've never moved on to video, but the original material is used in the cinema, and simple Super 8 camera, Super 8 projector with sound, and very little technical equipment. I'm not sort of very much into the technical side of filmmaking.
So.
Actually,
Yep.
can we just run through that again and have single shots on the one computer?
Yep,
That
okay.
each of them speaks. So
Yeah, well, if you want to stop me whenever you want, yeah.
you can kind of like say that again. Please.
Okay. Who are you starting with?
Roy.
Right, okay.
How do you want to shot, Nancy? Single.
Single, more heavily, please. Pull out slightly. Yeah. Got Peter's ear.
Cut your ear off.
Okay, so Roy, what kind of equipment do you use now?
I use High 8 Sony cameras. I started on VHS, and as the cameras became smaller and better, I moved on to High 8, and originally edited straight from the camera into a video recorder using a stopwatch to time the shots. But as I got more money and the more equipment became available, I now edit with a computer, an Amiga computer.
Okay, single piece now. So basically, just say the same.
Yeah. So you line up.
Watching the
Okay.
tape. What you got?
I'm very much a film person. I'm not a technical guy at all, and I've never moved on into video. I've stuck with film. I started with film, and I've stayed with film. a simple cine camera projector, sound projector, and editing is done on a small viewer with a splicer and tape splices, as opposed to the old cement splices that we started with in Standard 8 days. But we work with video in the Cine Club, but I leave the technical side to people like Roy.
So if people wanted to make film, what equipment would they need?
Well, just basically a Super 8 camera, a Super 8 projector, and a little hand viewer editor, and a splicer. That's basically all that you need.
And where can people get that sort of equipment from?
Well, there's very little sort of new equipment on the market. It's mainly buying second-hand equipment or sort of looking around for what's available.
Do you want to do a wider one of that one as well, so we can then bring away in with...
Contacted by a bloke who was a friend of a chap who died in his 90s, and he gave us 6 projectors and 5 cameras.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Right,
Yes, and you
could
said
just
at the
say
club,
that
yeah.
again for us, please, about how it's easy to go onto film rather than video.
Yeah. Well,
This camera wasn't rolling.
Well, could we not do that comparing the two afterwards, once Roy's actually spoken about what type of equipment that people could use in video? Then I'll direct that straight after.
way he said it then.
Yes, it was, yeah. Okay. So Roy, very quickly, what base equipment do people need if they want to do video?
a camera.
Right, can you say people would need?
Yeah. If you want to go into video, basically you want a camera and ideally a recorder that has an edit mode, preferably a jog shuttle, and a stopwatch.
And what sort of costs are you talking about when you talk about video and film, and how does it compare?
Well, video cameras you're talking £500 to £800. Recorders you're talking £300 to £800. Stopwatch £45. If you go on to film, the cameras, if you buy them second hand in car boot sales, they're a few pounds really. There are various auctions, you can pick them up for £5, projectors about £20, but you're talking about £10 for 3 minutes of film. The cost is in the shooting there, not in the equipment. With video, the cost is in the equipment, not in the shooting.
Okay. Can we come to Peter and talk about maybe about maybe the quality of it as well, sort of why you, because obviously that's another probably reason why you still use it. So you can put it on a big screen. And
No.
No, okay. But you could put that side across. I mean, you were talking earlier about how people can not put video,
But low light.
I could not put video.
onto a big.
There was a
Yeah.
resistance, yeah, and quality isn't an issue
Should we
anymore.
have a two-shot of just them
Yeah.
sort of talking about the two?
That's
sort of like
nice.
that? No?
Down again.
Hello?
There, is that okay?
Sorry, Ashley, what was that?
What shot have you got at the moment?
Single on Peter.
Okay then. Right, well, we'll direct that at you then, in terms of the actual quality, between two of them. The fact that you can put film on a big screen and that you're only just starting to do that with video.
That's just okay.
Maybe you could add whether later on you will swing to video or not. If no, then just say, but I wouldn't use it. Because,
Okay.
Tiny bits of light.
Right, away you go, Ash.
Okay, so obviously when you use film, you can put it on a big screen, can't you, as opposed to video, which is still in its infancy in that way.
Yeah, well, a few years ago there was a great resistance on the part of filmmakers to video. The quality wasn't there in comparison with 8mm or particularly 16mm film. Video was very inferior, and particularly if you're involved in making films which were going to be shown to the public, films that won awards and were shown in festivals around the country. The great problem was you might have an audience there of 700 or 800 in a big cinema. You could put 8mm or 16mm onto a huge screen and fill the theatre screen. a video that had won an award had to be shown on half a dozen little monitor sets around the sides of the auditorium, and you know, there's just no comparison. But quality is no longer the issue that it was, and I mean, you can now get every bit as good quality in video as is possible on film, and with the large screen projectors, the kind that Roy has, you can't tell the difference really. I mean, they're projected on the same screen, and the audience wouldn't know whether it was originated on videotape or Super 8 or 16 mil. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well,
Okay. So you're ready, are you?
Yeah.
So what do you two get out of being in an amateur film organisation?
I'm involved in making films because it allows me to meet a lot of people with similar attitudes, and because I was keen on the movies in the first place, I've got this urge to make movies as well. Plus it gives you something to do on holiday.
What about in terms of being a film collector?
I actually used to collect films on film. It became very expensive, and now I tend mainly to record them off the telly or buy on video the few that I particularly like.
Right. Okay. Sorry, was there another question as well?
I haven't thought of it yet.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. So shall we pick up with all we...
Can we ask Peter or something?
When I get out to it.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
It's not going to get a shot of that.
Can you just make sure you stop the tape, please? Because I think it's about to make it hot. So Peter, what do you get out of being in the film club?
Being in the film club, well, there are various aspects. On a personal level, I mean, over the years, I've sort of got, I've been a family and holiday filmer, and I've got an archive of the children who are now sort of 26, like from when they were 2 days old in hospital, and you know, sort of record of the family growing up, holidays, various places around the world that we've been, the Far East, Brazil, and so on. Documentary type films that I've made on things like Rio Carnival. So on the personal level, those are my own personal films, and I've got a cupboard full of stuff at home which you know, has got very happy memories on recorded on film. Being involved with the film club and other organisations, there's a sort of creative outlet there. When you're working as a group, there's a chance to work either as a script writer or writing commentaries on a documentary, directing the film, acting in the film or whatever, or just being a bit part player or looking after props or costumes and bits and pieces, doing publicity for the club. I mean, there are all sorts of aspects to it, and people join clubs for all sorts of different reasons. You know.
Right, I thought of the question I was
Let's stop the tape. Okay then, so is it
Well,
better?
I've used film and video. I'm biased in that I now use video, but for a lot of people, making a movie on video is simpler because the running stock is so cheap. You can point your camera at what you want, say if you're making a film on railways, and run it until you've got the shot you want. If you're on film, you cannot afford to do that. And if you look at movie films, you find that very few trains actually start from stop, because the maker is trying to conserve his film, and when he starts filming, the train is already moving. And on video, you don't have that problem. Where you do have the problem is that you've got 3 hours that you've shot, and you want a 10-minute film out of it. If you're doing it on film, you've shot 15 minutes of film and you want a 10-minute film out of it. So the editing is easier.
Right. So at the end of the day, people are more focused on what they're doing with film, and effectively it should be better to watch, easier to watch.
That varies again. I had a bloke who had shot a lot of film on holiday and didn't show 98% of it. He reckoned he was failing. I think if you'd shown 45% of it, you'd have had a lot better film.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one point I wanted to cover. The fact that people just take taking their camcorder very often, you know. What? That's it. Yeah, we'll stop then. Obviously, you fit in being competition officer.
Well, the IAC was formed 60 years ago to help amateurs in making, in those days, films. It's now widened to incorporate film and video, and possibly animators who work on computers. I joined as an ordinary member and gradually became competition officer, which means that I run an international competition. I think we got films this year from about 10 different countries, and you choose judges and sort through all the films and get winners. We give £4,000 in prizes to the top movies, and these are put in a library so that anybody in the country can hire them and see what's been made over the last 60 years.
So how can people get in contact with the IAC to join for that sort of thing?
You've got to either find a local club that's affiliated or write to our head office in Epsom.
Okay, can we do that again and just start off with saying
I don't remember.
Somewhere.
We use that, we can use one of
Yeah.
mine.
Okay, so if you start with people can join the IAC by, getting in contact with the club, whatever.
Right. Well, people can join the IAC by joining local clubs that are affiliated, and they will give them information, or applying to our head office in Epsom. And there are adverts for that in camcorder user and in video camera. So if people are interested in video, there's an easy source of the address.
Yeah, I just thought about magazines, yeah. Okay, would you want to stop there then?
Library, music
Yes,
library,
music
or music advisory service, copyright clearance service, and magazine, national and regional magazines. 6 times a year each of them?
Not all the regionals.
Yeah, you could also, something I wanted to ask you was about the regions as well, sort of briefly.
Save your own, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so yeah, what does the IAC have to offer in terms of other things, and about the regions as well? What regional things do they do?
Well, the IAC offers to its members a film library in which there are hundreds of award-winning films made over the last 50 years or so. It offers a copyright clearance service. It offers a mood music advisory service, advice on technical matters as well, and every member gets Amateur Film and Video Maker magazine 6 times a year, and there are also regional publications produced by the various regions of the organisation, and each of the regions holds its own competition and annual festival and various other low-cost events and with guest speakers and so on.
Okay, yes, that was fine.
Yeah.
Was there something else you wanted?
No, I was just wondering whether Roy had anything to add to that.
No.
No,
Other
right.
than say that you edited the big magazine and
Oh, well,
the regional.
yeah.
Okay. And then briefly about Second Fiddle. Okay, so...
Right. Well, if you make a movie, you can show it in your club and it can win. We have one club that regularly makes comedies, and they entered in our own regional competition and won that, and then entered it into Movie 94, our international competition, and got a £100 award for the best comedy. So you can win cups and you can win money if you make a good film.
Can you just add that was from Rochdale Movie Makers, because you didn't actually mention
Yeah,
the
I
name.
couldn't remember what I was supposed to be saying. Do you want me to do it again?
Please, yeah.
If you make a movie, you can enter it into various competitions. The first one usually is the club competition, And we have a club, Rochdale Movie Makers, who regularly make comedies. And this year they did a club entry which they entered in the Northwest regional competition and it won. And they also entered it into Movie 94, our international competition, and it received the Best Comedy Award in £100. So in some cases you can get the money back that it cost you to make your movie.
Right. And you had more youth entries this year?
Yeah. In the Movie 94 we had 51 youth and junior entries, which was a quarter of the entry, and of very high standard. One got an international award, equivalent to the top 10 movies entered. It also received £800 worth of JVC equipment and £100 for the best youth entry. So that did very well indeed. And several of them got Gold Seal awards, which means that they were considered for the top awards and didn't quite make it. So the standard is very high.
And the main winner was actually extremely short, wasn't it?
The winner was 2 minutes long.
So you don't actually have to spend all the time necessarily making a film to be a good film to win.
You don't have to make a long film to win. I'm not saying a 2-minute film doesn't take a long time to make.
Alright, could you go on from there? I was playing devil's advocate on that one, and I just wanted to get the idea that although there is a lot of work, yeah, it doesn't have to be a 3-hour sort of,
No,
shoot it.
in many cases, a shorter film will do better than a long film. Most films are too long, and with video stock being so cheap, the movies seem to be longer and longer. Originally you reckon on an average of 10 minutes. I think now you reckon on an average of 15 to 20 minutes. The longest we ever had in the competition was 2 hours, and that was a long movie. We were promised a 3-hour movie this year, but it never came. But surprisingly, both the 2-hour and the 3-hour movies were on film. The cost
a millionaire, presumably.
the cost at £10 for 3 minutes is very expensive.
Did you get that in the 2-shot?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Didn't know I was on that.
Yeah, that was excellent, because that's something I wanted to get sort of between you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do some static shots, so just in case
Okay.
we want.
Should be rolling now.
Okay.
Do that again. Couldn't see properly.
Don't worry about not talking.
Yeah.
If we can effectively over the machines more, this is the furthest that we have.
Yeah. Would it be possible for you to move just slightly a bit forward towards the...
Me, or all?
Both
Both
of you,
us,
just
yeah.
to move in a bit closer.
Yeah.
Just so we can get you with the machine on.
That's the fiddly shot.
Yeah, that's the cut-in of the letter.
Yeah.
So.
So I had to put a different shot in, so put Williams
so
in
we
later.
could on that to the close-up we did over a shot.
What you get is the water instead.
I see. Then the tearing of the letter.
This was a bit that I had to keep moving the start back and forth.
Get a shot of the roots as well.
Picking the paper up
Paper going in.
halfway
Yeah,
down
yeah.
to the river.
Yeah.
Record there, so.
And we cut to the trolls. Then we cut to the close-up of the torn paper going down the river.
Seems to wind back much too far.
But you took cameras on?
Roy, your phone's ringing.
Alright, I'm very hard to see if it's in focus.
It's alright. If we could. Go further back now. This light's out of use
Right.
now. If we can go further back.
Why don't we get some of this stuff here?
And get a long shot. Still high.
You can get a shot.
Yeah, Dan, if you could just move that light back.
You've got to move everything back.
No.
Alright, take that down.
I just missed you on the... Come exactly where you were before. I'll move the camera over a bit now.
Oh,
Can you stand where you'll walk and then I'll make sure I get you in the right...
Take cables with you. Actually, could you just pick all these cables up, please?
I just missed you on the...
Wobble it about
Come
a bit like
exactly
that.
where you were before. I'll move the camera over
well,
a
not
bit.
quite that drastic, but
Can you stand where you'll walk and then I'll make sure I get you in the right place?
Because the council gave us no assistance. Please, Robbie, put somebody in
It's like I'm upside down, so I can't see it properly.
What's that?
I was just wondering about the headroom, but then you're getting more of the equipment anyway. The stuff
That's
in
what
the
I'm
room.
trying to get at.
Oh, that's good anyway.
So then maybe come across slightly. Yeah, I like that.
I prefer to do
Just maybe not even having a shot.
I don't know, because
When he's talking about
what documentary do we use?
seriously.
yeah, because I think that would use a good concept.
One member we got to, well, he used to use film, but he
Film versus basically using however. I think that would because I think a lot of
most of our
people chemicals don't
really
film
short
to project.
We've got two storage films. That one was
That's what we've got. The reels going and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so record mirror.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
How about if we do a shot of me in the mirror? Kind of like.
Do we really want you on? Yeah. Just do what you like.
Alright. Let me have fun. What?
The my
Right. Very low light there.
Right, can we go from the front?
Yep.
Maybe we've got the aperture at 1.4 if you want it.
else I can do that with.
Try and just leave it. You've got to think like that.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
To take
That'd
that.
Leave it getting it rained out, and then you can use that.
Oh, you've got that.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Say something. Mary, if you're watching, this is supposed to look like that. I'm sorry, it's not me bad camera work, honestly.
That's what you said.
Smile.
Oh, I've got hair in my mouth.
Smile.
Oh, that's better.
Oh. Excuse me, where are you focusing, Simon?
Shut down something.
It's out of focus, you know.
Man on bicycle.
Yeah, go and do the cars and stuff. Not going past. In a really dodgy panda.
Oh dear.
Simon. Walk along.
You better trip over the cable. What?
Whack up the gain.
You see me?
Yeah.
Sound man in shot syndrome.
I think the out of focus thing would probably be the best thing we've done all year.
Yeah.
Hey, Simon,
Say that again.
look over there. I can see something.
Oh, under the old tape.
That's it.
Sorted.
It's all over.
Oh, that's it.